On December 5, 2024, DBS Newsworld visited the site of the proposed Rockall housing project. The project, funded through the Citizenship by Investment program under the new infrastructure option, was contracted to BMAX Caribbean as the developer. However, the landscape had not changed much since our last visit in October, when the government of St. Lucia announced that it was pressing on with the project, despite news that the principal investor in BMAX Caribbean, Alexander Mijalovic, was at the center of not just a wide-scale police investigation, but had been arrested. Mijalovic and 5 police officers were arrested in February after an intense investigation by the Special State Prosecutor's Office, accused of creating a criminal organization and smuggling. At his end-of-year press conference on Wednesday, 18 December, the Prime Minister, in explaining the lack of progress on the project, surprisingly informed that BMAX was no longer in the picture.
What stopped the work was our adherence to principle and policy. We will not continue unless we are planning approval. That's how this government behaves. That's how we act.
It should have started since February of this year, however.
No, wrong. Very wrong. Anyhow, that's when
it's stated in the contract.
Which contract?
The contract with BMAX?
That has been suspended. You didn't know?
Well, the contract has been suspended.
Yeah, you're not following the news. Long time.
No, why has the contract been suspended?
Because the government decided that because of the discussion happening, that you have to stop the contract. That's a long time. This is still news.
Well, that's news to me.
Well, let's continue with your question. It has been suspended. Yeah.
The about turn comes less than 2 months after Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Investment, Dr. Ernest Hilaire, told Parliament that Mijalovic swore his innocence in a statement and had transferred all his shares to other investors, therefore no longer having any interest in BMAX Caribbean. The businessman from Montenegro is out on a €1.1 million bail.
He stated, number 4, that according to Montenegro law, not leader of the opposition law, according to Montenegro law, the prosecution has 6 months to indict and charge him. The 6 months expired on August 19, 2024. The prosecution requested an extension of 2 months to complete the investigations. The 2 months expired on October 19, 2024. He has not been charged. We are presently awaiting further information from various sources on the situation and will take legal advice on the options open to the government of St. Lucia on how we proceed in relation to this developer and this project.
In response to inquiries by DBS Newsworld, the Special Prosecutor's Office in Montenegro informed that investigations against Alexander Mijalovic is ongoing due to the collection of evidence by the competent judicial authorities of other countries via international legal assistance. Mijalovic's custody was terminated prior to the 6-month period, which is the maximum duration of confinement permitted during the investigation. That decision, the Special Prosecutor's Office noted, was made by the High Court on April 12, 2024, and to set bail as an alternative to custody. The Special Prosecutor clarified that the 6-month period between the commencement of the investigation and the abolition of detention and its replacement by bail in this particular instance in no way suspends the possibility and does not prevent the Special Prosecutor from filing an indictment after collecting all the evidence necessary for determining decisive facts and ending the investigation. Dr. Ernest Hilaire in October had also indicated that government would conduct due diligence on the individual Mijalovic had transferred the shares to, Veselin Kovacevic. Until October 2022, BMAX LLC was registered as being owned by Kovacevic and then sold to Ivan Yubovic for €750,000. In January 2023, the then Prime Minister of Montenegro had alleged that Mijalovic and Ivan's father, Ranko Yubovic, were the main figures in the so-called Grand Smuggling Group, accusing them of tobacco smuggling in addition to their legal business. According to operational data from law enforcement, the so-called Grand Group was one of the largest smuggling groups which cost the state of Montenegro billions of euros. So what's the way forward for the housing project at Rockall?
Actively seeking a new investor? You've secured a new investor,
the government,
a new developer?
The housing project in Rockall is continuing.
As a CIP project?
It's continuing.
As a CIP project?
It's continuing.
Okay, so you're not prepared to give us any details?
What's the details when the people begin to live in the houses? That's a detail.
Okay, Lisa, you have exhausted your time on the microphone. Any other questions before I close? Any other questions?
The Rockall housing project in agreement with BMAX was a $23 million complex consisting 66 apartments, 14 commercial units and recreational space. BMAX was to be reimbursed through the sale of 628 CIP applications. For the DBS News World, Lisa Joseph reporting.